Welcome back, guys. This is What If Naruto Had the Rinnegan Part 4. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this from the beginning. I have taken down the Naruto, What If Naruto Had the Rinnegan Part 3, because some people thought that the gameplay was recorded off of YouTube, but I know that my friend Nexus wouldn't really copy it, but so I will still leave a link to his channel in the link below. And in this video I will be using the gameplay of Dragon Ball Fighters. My friend Miniman123 gave it to me. He let me use it off of his YouTube channel. I will leave a link to his video, and please go down and please go to his channel, show him some love and subscribe to him. So last time we left off with Naruto going off to train with Jiraiya. So the 2-year training does start, and in this part I will cover the Gaara retrieval arc, well, the Gaara arc, and also the Asuma and Hidan, the Akatsuki arc where Asuma dies, and then Naruto's training arc. Also, I will cover the Sasuke versus Itachi, and maybe I will cover the the Jiraiya versus Pain arc. So, and I will end it right before the Pain arc begins. So basically, before the village, right before Naruto goes to train to learn Sage Mode. So we start off by seeing Naruto training with Jiraiya. Naruto does learn more about his rinnegan, and he does now know how to use the Asura path, so he can just have multiple arms, well, the robotic arms that come out of his shoulders, but then he can put them back. And also he can now use the human path, where he can rip out someone's soul, and the King of Hell path, so he can heal people. So Naruto now has the Diva path, the one that absorbs. He doesn't have the summoning path because he won't need it since he has Gamma Bunta, and he has the Asura path, the one with the lasers and everything, the missiles, but Naruto doesn't really use the missiles and lasers. And also he has the human and the King of Hell path. So the human path can rip out souls, and the King of Hell, basically he can summon the King of Hell and throw someone in there and they get healed. So now Naruto is able to do all that, so he returns to the Leaf Village after 2.5 years. So he does return 6 months before, and Naruto still learns the massive Rasengan and Rasengan so, and he knows how to do the massive Rasengan with one hand. So now Naruto is back in the village. He does do the same thing. He does meet Sakura. They do have their little reunion, and Naruto still does show Konohamaru his sexy jutsu and everything. So now Naruto is does have a bad feeling. He just has a bad feeling out of nowhere. He feels that something's bad is about to go down, and he does. The Leaf Village does get a a letter from the Sand saying that they got attacked and Gaara has been captured. So Naruto does still, the same team is formed. Kakashi, Naruto and Sakura, they do still head off to heal Kankuro and retrieve Gaara. So they're heading off, and while they're going, they do meet up with Temari, which Temari didn't really know about this and is told by Team 7, and she goes with them because she was heading to the Sand anyways, but now she's in a hurry now. So they arrive in the in the sand village in 3 days, and in those 3 days Kankuro is in critical conditions, but he still gets healed. Naruto wants to head out straight away, but then Kakashi stops him, since he tells him we need to create an antidote against this sorcery's poison. And Naruto understands that maybe Kakashi is right, but he still thinks that he can heal anyone since he has the King of Hell, but he doesn't want to risk anything. So Naruto and his team do head out to find Gaara. So it's Chio, Naruto, Kakashi and Sakura. The Kankuro stays back because he has to heal, and Temari is left back because she's basically the only one who can protect the village now, since she's the strongest there. So they're heading off to find Gaara, and they do find the Akatsuki layer, and by this time Gaara has the Gaara's tail beast has been extracted, so Gaara's dead. And while this is all happening, while Team 7 are searching for the Akatsuki hideout, Team Guy is dispatched to go and back up Team Kakashi. So Team Kakashi does find Gaara, and Naruto is still angry that Gaara is taken away. So he goes after them, and so Naruto doesn't really go into his one-tailed form, but instead he wants to go KCM until Kurama says, no Naruto, if you go KCM everyone will know that, everyone will think that you got possessed. But then Naruto says, I can just tell them that I mastered I'm your friend. But then Kurama's like, we shouldn't risk it, they might Danzo, because he knows about Danzo and what he does, since Kurama has been living for this many years and he knows a lot of things, since he saw a lot of things. And he tells him, the Leaf Elders won't believe you, Naruto, they think you're a demon, remember that. And Naruto does understand, so he's like, okay, but can you at least give me some chakra? So Naruto does go to his one-tailed form to just catch up with Deidara, but Kakashi thinks Naruto is out of control since he's in his one-tailed form and he's about to go on two tails. And Kakashi is told by Jiraiya, if you ever see Naruto going around 2 or 3 tails, just stop him, because if he becomes too strong, he will go 4 tails, and pretty much no one's able to stop him then, except for a Asani level ninja. Well, Kakashi could, but he would have to try to subdue Naruto by trying to kill him at the same time, because if he doesn't try to kill him, he won't be as strong. And sorry, I'm reading my script, and I've already told you guys I'm not that good at reading. So Naruto is stopped by Kakashi, and Kakashi says, Naruto, I got this, and he puts the chakra sealing tag on Naruto, and Naruto's like, why Kakashi, I had this. And Kakashi's like, don't worry Naruto, and he shows Naruto his Mangekyo Sharingan. Sorry guys, I'm a bit sleepy. His Mangekyo Sharingan, and he does use the Kamui on Deidara. Deidara does lose an arm, but he still escapes, leaving Gaara behind, because if he tries to take Gaara, he'll just be slowed down and he'll get killed. So now we go back to Sasori and Chio are talking until Sasori says, less chatting, more fighting. And while this is happening, Team Guy does still have to verse their own clones, and they realize that they find out the trick that the Rock Lee does tell them, these clones are just as strong as us when we were coming here, but they're not stronger than us. We just have to overpower ourselves. So they do break their limits, and they do still beat their clones. So now they're heading to the Akatsuki hideout, and the fight between Sasori and Sakura and Chio does start, and they fight. Sasori is losing until he gets out because of Sakura's immense monstrous strength. He does have to use his 1000 puppet jutsu, and Sakura is plowing through them, since they're literally one shots, and she's breaking hundreds and hundreds until, and Chio is using the mother and father puppet to break them too, and eventually they do come to the last one, and Sasori does show that he is a clone, and Sasori does still get stabbed like usual, and he gets stabbed, but then he just lets out his core into another puppet, and he does attack. Well, Sasori does still try to stab Chio until Sakura gets in the way, and Chio does use the last antidote on her. So now Sasori knows that there are no more antidotes there, because he heard Sakura say, "No, Lady Chio, why did you use the last antidote?" And she was like, "It's fine, Sakura." And Sasori does still get punched by Sakura, and his puppet breaks, but not his core, and his core is sent to another puppet, and Sasori does come back until while he was trying to blitz Chio, he does get stabbed by the mother and father puppet, but Chio knows that he could have dodged it, and he didn't dodge it on purpose because he didn't want to do this anymore, and he just gave up. So Chio and Sakura can barely walk now because of the fight. They are completely drained, and Chio is a bit poisoned, not as much as Kankuro, but she is able to survive. So Team Guy does carry them back to the sand village, the border of the sand village, where Naruto and Kakashi is on Guy's back right now, because let's say Lee and Tenten went to help out Sakura, and not Lee and Tenten. Tenten and Neji went to help get Sakura, while Lee and Guy went to get Naruto and Kakashi and Gaara. Naruto does carry Gaara, while Lee's like, "Hey Naruto, you're pretty drained, let me do it." Naruto's like, "It's fine," because he thinks of Gaara like a brother, and Kuroma's like, "Damn, we just let that one tail get away and get sealed away." And Naruto's like, "Kuroma, I'm not in the mood." And Kuroma understands that Naruto is sad for Gaara, but says, "Naruto, you need to get over this. You can't let this bring you down." And Naruto says, "I know," with tears in his eyes, inside his mind. And Kuroma realizes that Naruto did love Gaara like a brother. And so now we skip to a few minutes later, when Lee says, "Hey, look, it's Sakura and Chio. It's Neji and Tenten," and he sees, "Oh, Sakura's on her back," and Naruto sees, and Kakashi's like, so they won as well. So now Chio sees Gaara, and he sees Naruto crying, a leaf ninja crying for a sand ninja, and she does still get Takano Jutsu a bit by Naruto after saying that Gaara, sorry, that was the fire alarm, it's still on, and Gaara was like a brother to him. So it's not a fire, just saying, don't get worried. So Granny Chio still tries to revive Gaara, but she's out of chakra, so Naruto decides to give his own chakra to Chio, and Chio does die for Gaara, and Gaara is revived, and they still do have the moment of silence for Chio, because Gaara respects how Chio would give her own life up for his. And Naruto says Granny Chio was a great shinobi and everything. So now they do still the Leaf Village and the Sand Village now have even a stronger bond, so they're allies till the end, so that's what they say. So Naruto and his team does head back. Kakashi's on Guy's back, and Lee carries all the bags, while the rest just normally go back. Sorry for the pause. So Naruto does still end up waiting in the hospital for Kakashi to feel better, because he still wants to train in his Rasen Shuriken training and everything. So Naruto does still train on the Rasen Shuriken. While he's training, in a week he starts training, and in this week Asuma's team 10 is out on a mission with some other Jonin, and they do still bump into the Akatsuki, Hidan and Kakuzu, who have captured the 2 tails and the 3 tails. Well, the 3 tails was going to get captured anyway, because the Mizukage was already under a genjutsu that Obito put him under, but that's irrelevant for now. So Naruto does still train in the Rasen Shuriken, and Kakashi is really proud that Naruto is starting to improve a lot more. And while this and before this, I completely forgot to tell you guys, Yamato does still take Naruto, Sakura to the bridge where they meet Orochimaru, and Orochimaru does still provoke Naruto. So Naruto goes into he doesn't really go into his Full Tails mode in rage, but he's so enraged that Kurama decides to give him enough power to go Full Tails, but he's still conscious. So Naruto doesn't really slap Sakura and kind of destroys Orochimaru until Orochimaru has to retreat, because the Full Tails is a bit too strong. So Orochimaru retreated, and Naruto decided to follow with his team, and Yamato's like, wait, Naruto, you're not out of control, and Naruto says, this is irrelevant, I'll tell you guys later. So they do find out that Naruto has a bit of the Nine Tails chakra, and they still do meet Sasuke. Sasuke still thinks he's stronger, because Naruto is kind of drained because he used a lot of he used the Tail Beast Bomb, and Sasuke says, now I'm stronger than Naruto, and Naruto's like, Sasuke, just come back with us, and they leave again. So Naruto is still left with anger towards Orochimaru for taking Sasuke. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention, Sai is still in the team, even though he's kind of irrelevant till now, except for the part that he goes with Orochimaru. So now to head back, and we skip back to where we were before. So Team 10 is still fighting, and Asuma does still try to use his the gift of the sage to beat Hidan, and he thought he beat him until Hidan Hidan said he's immortal, no one can really kill him, and Hidan's head still chopped off, but Asuma is still killed. So they still do take back Asuma's body, and they still do have the funeral, and also Shikamaru does start smoking because of how he's depressed, but then he is stopped by Naruto. Says, hey Shikamaru, look, it's alright, you can still avenge Asuma, your sensei. He did all this for the Leaf Village, you should and then she says, you should get over this. Asuma wouldn't like to see you in this state, and stop smoking. Naruto does snatch the cigarette out of Shikamaru's hand and steps on it like 6 or 7 times, just to show how much he hates people, how much he hates cigarettes, because he knows that cigarettes do he knows that cigarettes are bad. So basically that's it. Sorry, I didn't really write that, I just got it out, it's not in my script. So Naruto now continues his training while Kakashi's not there anymore, because he takes Team 10 to basically Team 10 and Kakashi are the Akatsuki so basically the new team Kakashi with Team 10 and Kakashi as the leader do still try to subdue the 2 Akatsuki members, Hidan and Kakuzu. So Shikamaru still does take Hidan on by himself because he wants to avenge Asuma, while Kakashi takes on Kakashi does end up killing 2 of Kakuzu's hearts, but then realizes that he's running low on chakra, so he thought maybe he could just kill Kakuzu with the Kamui, but he doesn't have enough time to prepare the Kamui. While now we skip to Naruto heading out at top speeds with Sakura, Sai, and Yamato. They're heading off to help out Kakashi at top speeds. Naruto does end up coming before Kakashi. Kakashi is still thinking of how he can beat Kakuzu. Naruto ends up going there and says, "Hey Kakashi sensei, sorry if I'm late." And Yamato isn't too worried about the Nine Tails taking over Naruto, since Naruto is able to control a bit of the Nine Tails, but he still is there just in case Naruto uses too much chakra. So Naruto tells Sai and Naruto is fighting with Kakuzu, and he does show off his new Rasen Shuriken, while by this time Shikamaru buries Hidan in the ground, and he heads out the forest, and he sees Sai and Sakura right outside the forest waiting for him, because they were about to get in the forest until they see Shikamaru walking out barely with a bit of scratches but not too many injuries, and Sakura offers to help to heal him, but then he says there's no time for this, we need to go help Kakashi sensei. And then Sakura's like, "You're right, but you should really get some rest. You're not in the state to fight again." And then Shikamaru's like, "I will keep fighting because I still want to see that the other Akatsuki member die in front of my eyes." So Naruto does still do the Rasen Shuriken, and everyone sees it, and they realize how strong Naruto is now, even stronger than what he already was. Not only did he use the Rasen Shuriken, but before that, he can't do the Rasen Shuriken he still needs 3 clones because he's not mastered it yet, but he does 6 clones, and 3 of them go up against Kakuzu by using Water Shockwave, lightning stream, and 1 does a fireball jutsu, since he does have all 5 chakra natures. And the clones are keeping up with Kakuzu, and Kakuzu wants to relay this information that Naruto has all 5 chakra natures since the rinnegan, and because not that he has all 5 chakra natures. Sorry, I wrote that wrong. It's incorrect. I meant that Naruto has the rinnegan, but then Naruto comes out of nowhere and swings his arms and shouts, "Wind style Rasen Shuriken," and this time Kakuzu gets annihilated in midway, well, in the sky, because he was jumping to evade the paralyzation that he would have had to go through if he stayed down there, since Naruto's clone used the Water Shockwave and the Lightning Stream, which would have paralyzed him. So that's the only difference here, and that Naruto did use a bit more finesse, and since he saw that Kakashi and Shikamaru and Team 10 were a bit drained, he summoned the King of Hell and says, "Hey guys, get in there." And then they're like, "What the hell is this, Naruto?" And then Naruto says, "Just trust me, get in there," and he pushes all four of them in, and they come out brand new, like their injuries are completely healed, and their chakra is max levels again. And they ask Naruto how he did this, and Naruto says this is one of the abilities of the rinnegan. And Kakashi is really proud of his student learning more abilities, but he doesn't show it, and he just gives an eye smile to Naruto, and Naruto just says, "Believe it." And they do go back, and so that's it for the first 3 little arcs that were in Naruto. And now we go to Sasuke. Sasuke realizes that now he's stronger than Orochimaru and kills in quotation marks, because he doesn't really kill Orochimaru. Orochimaru is pretty much immortal right now, and he thinks he kills Orochimaru, and he escapes with Jugo, Karin, and Suigetsu, and he lets all of Orochimaru's subjects go free. So now Sasuke is heading to the to find Itachi, and Team Taka is or Team Hebio Taka, I'm not sure, I keep forgetting the thing, what their name is, and they are stopped by Kisame, and Kisame says only Sasuke can go past from here, and they're all like, why should only Sasuke go? And they said this is between him and Itachi, and Sasuke's like, guys, just stay back, and he goes on to find Itachi. The fight is pretty much the same, but just that Sasuke is a lot stronger and has different skills. For example, he knows how to use the Fire Phoenix Jutsu, and I mean the Fire Phoenix Jutsu, the one that Naruto learns when he is in What If Naruto was a prodigy. So does little fireball jutsu and then lets out a few shuriken to multiply them, and Itachi does the same thing to counter that, because Itachi is the one who used it in the series and in the original when he was reanimated, and I really liked it, and I always wanted Sasuke and Naruto to learn it, but Naruto really doesn't use fire release, but in here he does learn it eventually from a scroll. But let's not talk about that. So Sasuke does still summon the Kirin, and Itachi does still have to use the Susanoo to stop it. He uses the Yato mirror, and then Orochimaru does come out the curse seal with his Hydra snake, with the snake with 8 heads. But then Orochimaru realizes that he got stabbed by the Totsuka blade, who he was searching for decades, but then realizes that Itachi had it all this time. It says, Itachi, so you're the one who had the Totsuka blade all these years. And Itachi's like, Itachi doesn't really say anything, and seals Orochimaru, and still does the finger tap to the forehead of Sasuke, and still dies. So here now we go on to we skip to Jiraiya talking in a bar with talking to Tsunade in a bar, and they're talking about pain and how he and Jiraiya found out that the leader of the Akatsuki is in the Rain Village, and Tsunade's like, don't tell me you're trying to infiltrate the Rain Village, you know how hard it is. Even in the third Great Ninja War, it was really hard to get in. And Jiraiya's like, hey, remember, I am a stealth ninja, and I do have a spy network, and this time it's not 3 of us getting in, it's just me. And Tsunade's like, no, you're not going, and Jiraiya's like, just give me this one chance, how about we make a bet? And Tsunade hears him out and says, if I come back alive, you give me a chance to date you. And Tsunade's like, alright. And she thinks she's gonna lose the bet, because so basically, if Jiraiya comes back, Jiraiya says, since you're a sore loser, since you always lose your bets, let's bet that if I come back alive, you date me, but if I don't come back alive, oh, you already know. So Tsunade really thinks that he will come back, but of course, since he hasn't mastered Sage Mode, he still he does put up a better fight, since he knows a few of the rinnegan abilities, but he still can't beat them. So he wouldn't die. I'm not gonna make him die here. He's going to use the reverse summoning jutsu, because he realizes that the leader of the Akatsuki has the rinnegan, and he can use all the abilities. Since he saw them, he knows how to summon the bird, the hound, so basically the dog with the 3 heads, and he escapes with the reverse summoning jutsu. But though he is injured, his arms broken, his ribs are broken, his also his legs are broken too. So he does escape to Mount Myoboku, and then they do treat him a bit, but then they realize that he needs better treatment, and so they tell him you now have enough chakra to do the reverse summon jutsu into the Leaf Village. So Jiraiya does the reverse summon jutsu and summons right in front of Tsunade in her office. So Tsunade realizes that Jiraiya came back alive, and now she has to date him, but she is more concerned about his well-being since he is in a bad state. Even though he's bandaged up, he's still in a bad state. So Naruto is told, everyone is pretty much told that Jiraiya, well, everyone that knows Jiraiya and is acquainted to him is told. So Sakura, so basically the new Team 7, Kakashi, Yamato, so they all go there. Even Shikamaru is there, and they say what happened. They ask him what happened, and Jiraiya says, "Hey Naruto, I believe you have to go master Sage Mode in Mount Myoboku." And Naruto's like, "But why?" And he says, "The Akatsuki, their leader, has the rinnegan, and he knows how to use it perfectly." And Naruto realizes that he has no chance against a rinnegan user that knows how to use the rinnegan perfectly. So he does take so in a week they do go and train for, no, not in a week. Jiraiya says, "Naruto, you go ahead while I will be in the village looking protecting it with my life." And Naruto's like, "I'll be back." So Naruto now is in a hurry because he knows that the Leaf Village will get attacked by Pain. Well, he doesn't know. He knows his name is Pain now because Jiraiya told him. And Naruto realizes that if he doesn't master Sage Mode, everyone's gonna die since he's not strong enough yet. So Naruto does still learn Sage Mode in the same amount of time. And Jiraiya is not killed, but he's still fighting in the middle of the village, and then he gets blown back with the devastating Shinra Tensei. So Naruto appears and he fights off. He starts fighting Pain. While this is all happening, Sasuke is told about Itachi's real mission to protect the village from the Akatsuki and everything, and why Itachi killed the Uchiha clan. And Sasuke has a grudge against the Leaf Village now, and he wants to destroy it. But then he does still join the Akatsuki and does still go to capture the Eight Tails. So now, once the Eight Tails is captured, the Eight Tails is captured after the Pain arc. So while Team Heavy go to find the Eight Tails, the fight against Pain is starting to come to an end. So Naruto still does the Rasen Shuriken. He still throws it, and what's his name? Pain still does try to use the Chibaku Tensei, but now Naruto has to use KCM1 for the first ever time because he cannot get out of it. Even if he goes 6 tails, he needs the full 9 tails, and since he's not strong enough to and Naruto can't go full 9-tailed mode since he he does have the key now, but he still hasn't unlocked the gate because he was too busy training. So Naruto still goes KCM for the first time, and everyone that is still alive sees it. So Naruto is in KCM 1 with the Sage Mode activated, and then so Naruto does now destroy Pain, and everyone's like, "Naruto, how did you do this?" So since all this happened, Tsunade is still not in her coma because she wasn't already half depressed because of Jiraiya's death, but she was kind of sad that she couldn't do much against Pain when her village got attacked. But then everyone tells her, "Tsunade, you probably did the most. Even though Naruto did beat Pain, you were healing every ninja that was still alive." And while this is happening, Naruto does take Pain's body. Well, he takes Pain's body, and he does still find Nagato, and him and Jiraiya this time. They do go and they do go to Nagato and see that Conan is with him, and they do still talk no jutsu Nagato. And right before Nagato dies, he does revive everyone. So Kakashi, Jiraiya, no, Jiraiya is still alive. So Kakashi and everyone else, even Shizune. And right before Nagato died, he says, Naruto, take care of Conan and take her back to your village. I don't want her to die too, since Conan is the last one alive of the trio of the original founders of the Akatsuki. So basically Yahiko, Nagato, and Conan. So Conan's the last one, and Conan says, but I have to try to stop Toby. And Nagato's like, no, Conan, please don't. And Nagato, right before and Nagato's about to die, and tells Jiraiya, I want you to take my eyes and keep them safe, because I know Toby will try to take them. And Jiraiya's like, no, Nagato, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bury you somewhere safe. And Nagato still gets buried with Yahiko in the same place, but Toby will find out because he does search. But the 5 Kage meeting, the 5 Kage summit is still so basically still happens. And this time Tsunade takes Might Guy and Jiraiya with her, since Kakashi is a lot more injured than Jiraiya, and he just died and came back to life. She realizes that Kakashi needs a bit of a rest, and she leaves, putting Kakashi in charge. Even though he needs the rest, he still has. She puts Kakashi in charge just in case something comes up and someone needs to make a big decision. So while this is happening, the 5 Kage summit happens about Killer Bee, and Toby does let Sasuke go and destroy the Leaf Village. He does tell him that Naruto is in there with Kakashi and he won't be able to destroy him, but Sasuke thinks he can destroy the Leaf Village with his new powers. But then the Akatsuki find out that the 8 tails was, well, Killer Bee was just a substitution jutsu for a tentacle. So Toby still goes and tells Sasuke that it was just a substitution clone, and Sasuke says, listen, I don't care anymore, I just want to go and destroy the Leaf Village now. And Toby's like, you do you. Well, he will still follow Sasuke, because he feels like Sasuke will come in handy if he unlocks the Eternal Monkey Sharingan. And he does still. And now Naruto is resting, and he believes that he should let Kurama out for the first time and give him some space. So he does tell Kakashi that he'll be meditating for a bit. So Naruto drifts up into his mind and opens the seal and unlocks the gates. And Kurama's like, thank you, Naruto, thank you for everything, now I'm free, I have more space. And then Naruto realizes he feels 2 familiar chakras that he's felt before, but he couldn't remember when. He did feel the chakra when he was a baby, but he never really realized. But that's about too many times. So Naruto turns around, and Kurama is shocked to see Minato and and Kushina, and says, Minato, the first Hokage, and Kushina Uzumaki, my old vessel, my old Jinchuriki. And Naruto's like, the fourth Hokage, but why is he here? And you said Uzumaki, right? So she and I are relatives, kind of. And Kushina goes and hugs Naruto and says, we're not relatives, we are family. I'm your mother, Naruto, and this is Minato, your father. And Minato comes in the group hug, and well, he does. No way, sorry, I'm so sorry. Naruto does already know them, and he starts crying. I'm so sorry. Let's revamp that. Let's say that. Let's do that again. So Naruto turns around and starts crying, saying, "Mom, Dad," and he does go and runs up to them and hugs them, and says, "I've missed you so much." And they do start crying too, and says, "Naruto, we've missed you." And we see that you and Kurama, because they do know his name since they were in Naruto, so they say, "I see you and Kurama have become friends." And Minato does say, "So you've mastered the other half of the Nine Tails too." And Naruto's like, "What do you mean, Dad?" And he goes KCM too, and says, "This is what happens when you let Kurama free." And Minato shows Naruto, and Naruto does try the KCM, and he goes on it. And Kushina is really proud of a son becoming this strong of a shinobi. And their time ran out, and they say goodbye to Naruto. And Naruto says, "I will never forget you. You will always be in my heart. You're my two sons." So basically, his his two ideals. And Naruto does say goodbye, and then he's woken up by feeling hearing screaming outside, and Kakashi like, "Naruto, wake up!" And Naruto opens his eyes and realize he was crying a bit, but he did. Oh, did I mention Naruto did have to go up against his hatred, and he did beat his hatred. And Naruto's waken up by these screams, and he realizes that someone's people are in danger. So Naruto's still the hero of the village, just saying. And same with Jiraiya and all the people who fought, they are congratulated. So Naruto goes out and sees that there are fireball jutsus, there are water shockwaves everywhere, and there is someone who's breaking houses and everywhere. That's the whole of Team Heavy. And then Naruto realizes that this must be Sasuke's doing, since no, he doesn't find out. Naruto can feel Sasuke's chakra, and he blitzes through everyone and says, and then he does use some of he does go KCM, and he blitzes Jugo, Suigetsu and Karin, and he knocks all of them out, and then he goes back to base form before anyone can notice his KCM. So the only people who noticed were Neji and Hinata, because they had the Byakugan active, and they saw that Naruto just went into a new transformation state or something, and they are curious, so they do go to Naruto, and they see that Naruto is back in his base form. And Naruto says, Naruto's like, "Sasuke, what are you doing?" And Sasuke's like, "Naruto, get out of my way. I'm going to kill everyone in the village, and especially Danzo." And Naruto's like, "Why would you kill Danzo? I don't understand." And then Sasuke explains to Naruto about what happened, and Naruto really hates Danzo for doing all of this, and says, "Listen, you can fight Danzo somewhere else, but not in the village. Leave the villagers alone." And Sasuke starts shouting and says, "Why would I leave this village alone when they caused so much pain to my brother?" And Naruto's like, "What do you mean pain? Your brother wanted to do this to protect the village, so why are you going against his dreams and what he fought for all these years?" And Sasuke's like, "Naruto, get out of my way." And he does summon the Susanoo, and Naruto realizes that the Susanoo is something a bit too strong, and he goes Sage mode straight away, and he says almighty push, and pushes Sasuke outside the village. And Danzo appears out of nowhere and says, "Naruto Uzumaki, I'll take care of this pest." And Naruto's like, "Shut up, you demon." And he kicks and he says, "I'll take care of Sasuke." And Sasuke says, "Naruto, get out of my way." Now they're fighting outside the village, and Sakura does arrive and sees that Sasuke is fighting Danzo, and Danzo, the fight pretty much goes the same but just outside the village, and now Sasuke does end up killing Danzo because of Danzo does try to use his Izanagi. I think was he does use the Izanagi, and then in the end he does use his trump card, but then Naruto does warn Sasuke, and Sasuke is able to get out of the way just in time. So Danzo is dead, and Naruto's, and then Sasuke is dead. Now it's time for the village elders and the whole Leaf village to suffer. And Naruto's like, Sasuke, you know, if we fight now, we will both die, even though that's completely, utterly BS. And Naruto says, Sasuke, please don't. And Sakura does try to kill Sasuke right there on the spot, but then she is saved by Kakashi, and then Sasuke does try to kill Kakashi, but Kakashi has to fight, and then Kakashi does get kicked back by Jugo and Sugetsu and Karin are back, and Sasuke takes a bite out of he bites Karin, and he is back to full health except for his eyes, but he's literally blind, but he can still see Sakura trying to run up on him and says, I'll take care of her, until Naruto comes in the way and says almighty push, and pushes Jugo, Karin, Suigetsu and Sasuke back, and then Toby appears and says, Sasuke, there's no need to destroy the Leaf Village now, you're out of chakra, even though you're pretty, and he says you'll never be able to beat all of them, even I would have some trouble going up against them. And Sasuke listens to Toby because Toby just did come back and save them, because Naruto was preparing to fight to the death, even though he wants to save Sasuke. He wanted to go first with words, but then Toby appeared and he talked to Sasuke, and Naruto's like, no, Sasuke, come back. And that's it for the second Leaf attack, and the Leaf is pretty in a bad shape, but this time it's a lot worse, because now there's wildfires, not wildfires, there's a fire in the Leaf village, and Naruto has to make a shadow clone, and the shadow clone does go and put out the fires with the water shockwave, and Naruto does save the village again, but this time he doesn't really want the credit, because he didn't really do anything. He only watched Sasuke try to kill Danzo, and Sasuke pretty much failed. Danzo really killed himself, and he just he was about to fight Sasuke until Sasuke retreated. So Sasuke does still get the implant of his brother's eye, and he does still unlock the Monkey Sharingan, and then the Eternal Monkey Sharingan, but he still needs his rest, and Team Hebi are just waiting for Sasuke in one of the Akatsuki hideouts. So now the 5 Kage Summit is still going on, and the Raikage does demand to know more about the. He does tell the Leaf that it's because of the Leaf village Sasuke Uchiha attacked. He took his younger brother, and then Obito came in and says, hello 5 Kage, how are you all doing? And the 5 Kage said, realized that Obito just got past all their guards, and says, and they all say, how did you get in here? And they realize that this is an Akatsuki member, since he's wearing the Akatsuki clothes, and then Obito does still declare war on the in the whole ninja world, and the ninjas and the 5 nations do have to still create the allied shinobi forces. The stone, the sand, and the leaf don't put up too much of a fight over this, because they do want to have peace between themselves. But the Raikage still is pissed at the Leaf village, so he doesn't want to do it until someone comes in and says, Raikage, Lord B has returned to the Hidden Cloud village. And the Raikage is like, what do you mean? And he says that Lord B said that he used a substitution, and he was never captured. And the Raikage realizes that Killer Bee was able to escape, and so he accepts. And the Mist Village did have a bit of trouble until they realized that 4 of the great nations were already allied, and if they tried to go up against all 4 of them, they would like get destroyed. So now the allied shinobi forces are created, and Kabuto does still gain his sage mode, and he's still his ego is out of the world. He still thinks he still has evolved from a snake into a dragon. And so Kabuto is now does still propose his reanimations to help out with the war, to get the 8 tails and the 9 tails in exchange of Sasuke. And so Toby does oblige with this and says, alright, as long as you keep your part. And Obito is really persuaded by Kabuto, because Kabuto shows that he has Madara's corpse. And Obito is like, how did you get this corpse? And then Obito says, I have my connections. Kabuto says, I have my connections, and says it's a secret. So and Obito does have to accept, because he knows that if Kabuto, he doesn't know that Kabuto won't be able to control Madara, because he doesn't know anything about the reanimation jutsu. And he says alright to Kabuto's offer, and the war begins. So Naruto is still put under the surveillance with Killer Bee, and they realize they should train together. And so Yamato is there, same with everyone else that was there. And Yamato does still get kidnapped, because he still wants to needs the wood release to do his reanimation jutsu. And he does still take Yamato, and Naruto is he doesn't know this, because he's still inside the thing, and he does feel that Samehara does have malicious intent. And this time Naruto just and what's his name, Kisame does appear and tries to use the absorb every ninjutsu that they throw at him, until Might Guy comes in and destroys. And then Kisame realizes he has no chance against Might Guy in his 7th gate, and he does end up killing himself. So Kisame does still end up killing himself, and that's where I'm going to end this part. I know it did sound a bit, well, to me it sounded like I rushed it a bit, but I'm pretty sure I covered everything that I told you I will cover right up to before the war arc. The next part should be the last part, with everyone fighting together. And so hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, share, subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. Take care, stay safe, and peace.